So picture this. You're 2 weeks into engagement. You have a system on a jump box, that one server every admin hops through to get anywhere else. You don't have a single password. The main runs on iOS, so Kerberos gave you nothing but cracking. But today, an admin logged through this box, and their ticket is still sitting in the memory. You don't need their passwords. You need their tickets. Today we are covering two of the most fundamental techniques in Active Directory: ticket harvesting and pass the ticket. Hello friend, Morningstar here. This is part 2 of my Kerberos series. Previously we covered Kerberos and iceberg roasting. Missed it? The link is up top. Already here? Even better. Let's get into it. Last time we requested tickets for users and cracked them offline. But tickets don't only get requested on demand, they can be cached. So user can re-authenticate without typing their password every time. And if ticket is cached, it can be extracted. That's harvesting. And you can get this ticket and pass it to your own session and become that user. That's pass the ticket. But we'll get there. Let's jump into the lab. But heads up, for this demo I'm using Attacking Kerberos room from TryHackMe, and this lab starts you with admin rights and no protection mechanism in place. So not realistic, but we'll still do everything OPSEC friendly way. We will use Rubeus, and before you ask why not Mimikatz, Mimikatz can also dump tickets. The difference is how. Mimikatz opens a read handle to LSASS and reads its memory. Rubeus doesn't touch LSASS. It goes through LSA-call authentication package API instead. So which one is stealthier is really up for debate, but generally speaking, reading and writing LSASS memory has become a huge target for EDR. So Rubeus it is. Rubeus has a handful of commands for this: triage, keylist, dump, monitor, and harvest. And I know you're already seeing dump, but not so fast. We're working with OPSEC in mind, and dumping everything is not a move, because big data means loud. Loud means bad, and bad means your engagement will end very fast. So we resist the temptation and start with recon. Triage gives you an overview of available tickets without pulling full ticket data. What you see depends on the context. As a normal user, you will see only your own session. Elevated, you will get system-wide visibility. And now we will run our Rubeus. Again, how you will run depends on your tools, your engagement, but that's a topic for totally different video. So for now we'll just run our executable file rubeus.exe triage, and we will run it. So here's what we can see. It identifies the logon session, username and domain. Service principal name tells you access scope, and time gives you validity window. So let's pick our target, and from this list I think administrator ticket would be a best option. And we can pull more data about this ticket using keylist. So again, rubeus.exe keylist, and here we can see more details about our ticket for administrator. And now look at this. Encryption type is IES 256. That's good for us. IES blends where RC4 would stand out. And the flags. Initial means that ticket came straight from iceberg, and pre-authentication means that iceberg passed. So to translate it, a clean, real DDT. Perfect target. So let's take it, and we will use dump for this task, but dump on its own grabs every ticket in session, and we want only one, so we will filter. We can filter by fluid, we can filter by user, by service, and also we can use different filters at the same time. So let's dump our ticket using Rubeus.exe, dump fluid. We'll just paste our ID, and also we'll use no wrap to make base64 in one line, so it would be easier for us to copy. And there's our ticket. Now let's put it to use. Pass the ticket injects Kerberos ticket into logon session, and you can authenticate as that user with no password at all. This is a great option for lateral movement or privilege escalation. Now, injecting a ticket can be caught. There are host-based and behavioral detections exactly for that. But we can try to stay under the radar by following some rules. Use tickets on realistic timing, business hours, and keep believable gap between injecting ticket and using it. Try to blend into normal user or service activity. Prefer your current session and use service-specific tickets or broad DDTs where you can. So, is injecting administrator DDT the best OPSEC choice? Honestly, no. A broad domain admin DDT is the opposite of blend in. But the lab is what it is, and we'll let that slide for the demo. First, I'll purge the current session so you can see that injection actually does something. For that, I will use Rubeus purge, and to check that we no longer has this ticket, we will use Rubeus klist, and now we don't see our ticket, and now we can use our injection. For that, we will use command Rubeus ptt for pass the ticket, and paste the content of our ticket. And again, we can check that injection was successful with Rubeus klist command. Ticket successfully imported, and now it's live in our session. So let's use it. We will hit C share over SMB. For that, we'll use dir IP address of machine and C share. And there it is. We reading a drive over network, authenticating with ticket we lifted from memory. In real environment, that's the exact move you would point at the next box. But here we have only one host, so we prove it against the share we have. And typically after that, you would move laterally among different machines, try to find new credentials, try to escalate further, and after you're done, clean up after yourself with Rubeus.exe purge, and that will wipe the tickets you injected. And that's harvesting and pass the ticket. Everything we did today used a real ticket, a live one that we stole. Next time we stop stealing and start forging. Silver, golden, diamond. Tickets domain controller never handed out, but trusts anyway. If you want to be here for that, you know what button does. And for now, mind the tickets you leave flying around. Until the next time, friend.